What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Piggy news. Finally, we have some actual Piggy news to go off of. Minitoon is like going crazy on Twitter here. So he tweeted today, it was a tweet from Piggy Discussion saying, what are some issues you have with the Piggy story? They can be big or small. And then Minitoon replied, okay, I'm ready, hit me with some issues and I'll explain them. So we're going to be talking about today everything he replied with, what it means, as well as future Piggy projects. We have new games, we have new storylines, and much more. But before we get into it, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Piggy content. Okay, so let's just go through. So first of all, is there a genuine answer as to why potatoes can live in the Piggy universe? And Minitoon said, is there a genuine answer why animals are humanoids in the Piggy universe? So, you know, it just sort of means that, like, you know, all types of animals are like not sentient. Animals are sentient always, but like all types of animals are like humanoid in this Piggy universe. You know, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, the game itself was originally based off of Peppa Pig, so you know, it's you know, unrelated, but I've heard that the Dark Deception collaboration will include the Mary skin. Sorry, apologies, I'm terrible at reading out loud. Or it was at least planned. Is there any other news regarding that? And radio silence, unfortunately. So the thing about that is that this probably means that this collab is still happening, which was a worry. I saw some people worried that it's not going to happen. But this collab, you know, it, from what we can see here, it seems to be happening, which is good news. But it sounds like because of the whole collab thing, he basically can't say anything for now, but hopefully it'll be released soon. Let's see, can you finally reveal what this was? Of course, it says don't trust this. Yeah. We have this. Okay. Also, why is the player like the only human in the Piggy universe? I mean, each reply saying, are they? So that means okay. Ooh, okay. Anyways, the Metallica event was canon. Okay. She could have been. Anyways, but like, here's the thing. We only have met a small percent of the characters or like people, I don't really know what you call them, in the entire Piggy storyline, because if you think about it, they're like, you know, it's not going to be just us. If the entire world is infected in this story, or at least the entire country that Piggy takes place in, probably the entire world, just from what we're thinking, you know, it's a lot more than we have met. So we may be the only human in our little circle, but let's think about it. Apart from like the bots and our main like group, you know, there's us, the player, there's Zizzy, there's Pony, there is Giraffe, there is Mimi, there is George, there's the twins, and then we had Bunny and Doggy. So that's like, I'm just gonna go with like maybe like 20 friends. I don't know about the exact numbers, but you know, we haven't met a lot of people. That's what I'm trying to say. Less than issue, more of a hope, hoping that Teal is more expanded upon Intercity, as well as the Hunt chapter, as he was introduced all too late in the book 2 story. And Minitoon replied, this is actually pretty exciting. As I've said many times before, consider book 2 to be more of a teaser for Intercity. A lot of the things from chapters 7 to 12 are going to be either explained, expanded upon, or discussed more in Intercity. That is super exciting. That means that we are going to be getting a ton of storyline and content in Intercity, because, you know, we didn't really know how much content we were going to get in Intercity. You know, we knew there was going to be quite a bit, but we didn't really know how much. But this is good news. This means that there's going to be a lot of new content in Piggy Intercity. I know it was for gameplay reasons, but why is there a freaking sewer system in the middle of the police station? Because it was cool? Fair enough. What was the whole thing with Tiger being so quiet to the point where someone wrote, I haven't heard him spoke a word since he was here. Also, Foxy getting locked in that cage. We don't know who and why. Can't say just yet. Okay, so what? I'm pretty sure that TSP locked Foxy in the cage, right? I think I've got the story right. I get the story mixed up a lot of times. I'm pretty sure TSP locked Foxy in the cage. Tigry, that is a good question. He replied, can't say just yet, so that is exciting. Probably something in either Intercity or this new like Willow and Tigry spin-off game that we know is coming out in a few months. So that is, I would imagine probably a bit of both, but this, if it's focused on Willow and Tigry, you know, going in depth into their past and stuff, so that could be something, you know. Where is Zizzy at? Ha ha ha. Was that her in the hidden ending, or maybe a clone of some sorts? Also, are we getting more backstory on the Safe House squad? Well, minus Pony and the player. Yeah, okay. Depends where that hand was headed. So that is very interesting. So that means that Zizzy may or may not be real. Because you know how in the very end of like the trending cutscene, how there was Zizzy, but then it zoomed out through the wall. So we don't really know if that was like a memory or if it was like Tio was back, like not really defeated. Like we don't really know what was happening. No theory really seemed to work. Like everything seemed to have something wrong with it, so we don't actually know. Again, hopefully we have a ton of new Piggy projects coming up, which I will talk about later in the video, so hopefully it will be explained in some of them, but the way he says depends on where that hand is headed. It sounds like we maybe like it could be I don't know, maybe both, I don't know, but like it just like, is she back? Is she not? We don't know. Really, we don't. Obviously. Anyways, sorry. Sorry, I'm just dying over here. Why is the Piggy family eating pepperoni pizza in chapter 1? Joke aside, is everyone in the world of Piggy vegetarian or vegan? Even so, the existence of Mr. P indicates that plants are also sentient and intelligent, so what does everyone eat? Piggy's character is definitely vegetarian, but they eat non-sentient plants. That is super interesting, because does that mean, like, what does that mean for the Piggy, like, storyline? I don't know. But, like, that brings a lot of questions. So does that mean that, like, there's some, like, okay, so we know plants, we sort of knew that because there's, you know, trees and there's, like, you know, all that stuff. So we sort of knew that some plants, like, there's Mr. P who's, like, sentient, and then there's, like, some regular plants. But does that mean that there's also animals in this story who aren't sentient? Because we know Zizzy is a zebra, you know, Bunny's obviously a bunny, Pony is obviously a pony, you know, most of them are animals. So does that mean, like, some animals are sentient and some aren't? And actually, I'm pretty sure there was one chapter where we heard, like, birds tweeting or something, so that, you know, that sort of tells us that maybe not all animals are sentient in this, which is quite interesting. So lots of people are wondering why the player didn't simply live out of the front door from the garage. Basically, okay, okay, I thought he was gonna say for story purposes. Sorry, in the station, not the garage. Station. You know how he came in the door and could have just left when there was the monster. But Minichin says, I've seen this one a lot. The reason is really to try and find someone else who might know what was going on. So by exploring the station and heading out to the garage, he searched for any other cops who might be there to help out. Which does make sense, you know, if suddenly there's like all these monsters and stuff, and like everyone you know around you is turning into a monster, and then you just, you know, you realize that there's someone, you know, around you that's not a monster, you know, you're probably gonna try and, you know, find them and figure out what's happening. So that makes a lot of sense. Why didn't Coley attack Willow if Willow isn't infected? Gameplay reasons. Yeah, that makes sense. Gameplay, like a lot of, I feel like a lot of the stuff in this story is mostly about gameplay reasons, because at the end of the day, Piggy is a game. I think if it was like a movie or a TV show or something, it would be a lot different. Not really a story question, but Billy was supposed to be in the refinery, right? Which guy was he supposed to take the role of? I can't speak for Billy specifically, but if TSP had a base in the Settlement 6, I think it may be a safe assumption to assume that that group is a little larger than we think. Makes sense, guys, makes sense. We have some other stuff. Why are the characters waiting for food instead of helping us while saving their loved ones? They lose motivation fast. You know, a lot of the stuff, again, story reasons. Like, you know, Let's see. I haven't read through most of these, by the way. I just saw that he did a bunch of replies, and I was like, I should make a video on this. This may be just me, but I feel like the characters kind of lack personality. Like, each character doesn't really have too many diverse personality traits. Like, the best character would be Willow. That is true. Like, I know that we have, like, character backstory, but, like, the characters don't really have big personalities, apart from, like, Willow, who has, you know, Willow with her whole family and all that storyline. And, you know, all of her, it's like Willow has the biggest personality, right? But I feel like, yeah, a lot of the other characters don't really have personality, especially, like, in book 2, you know, the characters introduced in book 2 have, you know, some sort of personality, but I feel like the ones introduced in book 1, or at least the ones that just stayed in book 1, they didn't really have much, like, personality, you know, like Bunny. We didn't really get much, like, she didn't really seem to have personality. Zizzy and Pony, here's the thing. In book 1, they didn't have anything at all, but then as the story went through into book 2, you know, they developed a little bit, but it still wasn't huge, so, you know, yeah, okay. And he said, this is for a lot of reasons, rush development, wanting to not make cutscenes end up too long, keeping the gang together. Yeah, that is true. Because book 1 we know was a rush development. He never really intended Piggy to be, you know, this huge game, because I think it was maybe like it was in the top 3 games on Roblox at one point. Like, you know, so I don't, like, obviously he wasn't planning for all of this, so a lot of book 1 was rushed. And then there's also cutscenes, because there is only 12 chapters in each book, so, and you can't have cutscenes that go for like 10 minutes. You know, like, that's just too long for a game. So, yeah, that makes sense. How did Mother get into the gallery intro cutscene from the station so quickly? Speedrun starts. I swapped the Georgie bot with whatever else was there at the time. Yeah. So, basically, it was... Because I think, like, this was chapters 2 and 3, right? So, it was at the very start of the game when, you know, it wasn't... Like, this is before the game sort of, like, blew up. Or maybe around the time it was blowing up. But it was, you know... when it wasn't intended to have a huge story. Like, I don't think originally there wasn't even storyline in chapters like 1 through 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there wasn't even end cutscenes in these chapters at the start. It was not story focused until the game started blowing up, and he was like, oh, we need to add some, you know. So it was just a place there, you know, keep the game running. Yeah. Oops, what have I done? Clicked on the wrong button. So this isn't really an issue, but it's a question. If the character outside the lab map was used, what would be its purpose? Yes, we know that if we glitch outside of the wall on the lab, which is book 2, chapter 12, last chapter of the game, you can, like, glitch outside the wall, and then there's, like, this random bot just standing there. And then Minitoon said that, like, oh yeah, it was originally meant to be part of the Piggy storyline, and then or like the chapter, like, as a secondary, whatever. But then he didn't add it because it would make the map too hard. I can't fully remember if it was for a secondary bot or a jump scare. Not much to comment on this one. You don't have to answer it. There's probably revealing too much, but what happened to Mr. P? You don't see much. You don't have to say much or give a hint. Also, what about Bunny, one of my favorite characters? And he said, this is exciting. I'm not supposed to be saying this, but I think you're really going to like something that is coming soon. So that is very interesting. Something that is coming soon. The way he referred to that is, you know, he most likely would have referred to it as like Intercity or the new spin-off game. So that makes me think that there is something else that is going to be happening soon, some Piggy related project that's going to be happening soon that we don't know about, because we know Intercity and the Willow and Tiger spin-off, we know about those, right? But why wouldn't he just refer to that? You know, why wouldn't he say, oh, maybe you'll get some more information in Intercity? So I replied saying, imagine a Mr. P spin-off. Doubt that it's it, but imagine that. Imagine if we got a spin-off, because there would be a lot you could do with this storyline, because there was like how he, like, you know, showing you how the infection first started with his wife and all of that stuff with Bunny and Sheepy, and then going right through what happened to him after book 1 and the plant, you know, all of that. Like, there would be a lot you could do with that spin-off. But I don't think it's that. I put the eye emoji and someone thought that like I knew something secret. I literally don't. Not really an issue, but what is your favorite map and character? Build wise, definitely ship. Gameplay wise, breakout I mentioned. Okay, when will Piggy Book 3 be released? Oh, no. I have a video coming out on this from Roblox. I saw this game on Roblox the other day. I have a video coming out in a few days, in fact. This game right here. It's a game, guys. It's a game. Willow just still being mean after chapter 6 felt weird. The end of chapter 6 she was all sad, and then chapter 7 Willow's back to being sassy. I think it would be unrealistic for her to change up her tone right away. She still has personal attitude towards the player and Pony due to grudges. She is mostly helping for Z, Zuzi, and George, really wanting to grow. To trust someone takes time. That makes sense, you know, because it was when she found out that Z and Zuzi was Zizi's sisters. Sorry, all of the Z's, it's all confusing me. I'm getting my words mixed up. But like, you know, the family and stuff, because she had William ripped away from her and stuff. So I feel like that like obviously, if that hadn't happened, then you know she would still hate us, and she probably would have shot us. But you know, like she didn't immediately forgive the player and Pony. I think, you know. Anyways, where the heck is Grandma Piggy? Does he even exist? Oh, okay. I saw this and I was like, wait, what? Grandpa Piggy's at the city? And yeah, he misspelled it to Grandma and then at the city because Grandma Piggy is at the city. But where's Grandpa? We don't know. We don't know if he's dead, if he's alive, if he's on Piggy. Who knows? Here are some. Why can't we learn more about the Insolence Cop? Will we get a polar bear skin and Intercity? Will you reply to my DM? One. We will. Okay, so we're going to learn more about the Insolence Cop, probably in Piggy Intercity, also probably in the new spin-off, but you know, a lot of it in Intercity. Yep, animal variants will be available in Intercity, so polar bear skin. If you want to do a polar bear skin, you can do that in Piggy Intercity. And the DM, yeah. Okay, how is Giraffe taken to Doveport if TSP's boat is already gone? And what happened to the rest of the silver port at the end of book 2? Oh, also many off-topic but animation. Okay. Both things we'll have to wait to see. So, Giraffe was taken to Doveport, and what happened to the rest of the silver port? So, the Willow and Tigris spin-off? Does this... That? Like, will this be in the spin-off? Will it be in Intercity? That means a lot more story. Like, a lot more story upcoming so we can find out about all that stuff, which will be very interesting to see. Because, like, the boat was gone. So, Tia, and also it said that with the help of the silver pot. So, like, what, did they just swim across the sea? Maybe they built him a boat. Like, who knows? Like, that is a very interesting question. Let's see, do we have, I think there's like, oh, last one. The story felt rushed, another understandable. Yeah. Okay, so that is a ton of Piggy, like, that is a ton of, Piggy news. I think that's all of the replies, pretty sure, for now, but that is a ton of Piggy news. It is super exciting because, guys, let's take a rundown of all the Piggy projects upcoming that we know of. And here's the thing, these are only the ones that we know of. I am pretty sure, like, from what he said, that there is a few things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about yet. But as we know, we have Piggy Intercity, obviously. We have the Willow and Tigris spinoff. We have, let's see. Oh, there is a Piggy Book 3 fan game. I'm not sure. I know it's coming out. There was something about it being... I can't remember if that was canon or if it was a different thing. It might have been the Willow and Tigris spinoff. But we have a Book 3 fan game, which will be interesting, you know. Has some different perspectives. We also have the Dark Deception collab, as well as I'm pretty sure he's confirmed a bunch of build mode updates. Plus all of this, like, other stuff. Which is exciting because, you know... It's been a while since we've had much Piggy content, and it's really coming back. Like 2024 is gonna be the year for Piggy, let me tell you that. I made this secondary channel at a good time. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. Tons of Piggy news. Excited to see where a lot of this goes. But thank you guys for watching today's video. Leave it a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. And comment down below, what are you most excited for out of all of this? And what do you think he means, like, the Mr. P stuff, like Mr. P spin-off, or something else? Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys!